Cessna, half mile south, just rock your wings. Good job, you got a runway preference?
36.
In this episode, we're going to talk about Oshkosh 2025, from flying the first Fisk Arrival. That was kind of fun for newbies out there, to just the grandiosity of Oshkosh, all the way to meeting other people that are like in the PMOPA community that were there, to just the immensity of Oshkosh. We're going to talk about it from A to Z, and I've got Clint Goff here with me. Clint's our media director. Pretty much, you're the guy that makes this podcast and makes this YouTube channel. Is it kind of fun to sit on the other side?
It is, yeah. This is awesome. Yeah, and so is Oshkosh.
Yes, it is. And we're gonna have a great time here, just because this is your first time ever to go to Oshkosh, and you've been wanting to go for
over 25 years.
That's right.
Yeah, since I started in aviation.
I've known you for 25 years, and it just seems like every time it's time to go, something happens, the airplane breaks, something happens in your life that just makes it where you can't go there.
Scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, something happens. But this year we were like, no, you are going. That's all there is to it.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely going to go. And you got to fly yourself.
I did.
And we got to throw out I think we can even say his name. But Danny, if you're listening to this, we love you. You're great. And Danny let you fly his 182 there.
Yes. And, grateful for Danny. Danny's been a big supporter of me for a very long time. I've gotten to use his airplane.
That's right. He basically handed you the keys to his airplane, which is great. And you got to fly it all the way there, all by yourself.
Yep.
And really, it was sort of a plan that I was going to fly the Porterfield, and you were going to be my 911 phone call in case something happened. And it turned out that at the very end, I had an exhaust leak problem on the old Porterfield, and we just basically shelved that plan to go there. Yet again, I keep thinking I'm going to get the Porterfield there, but it didn't happen.
Maybe next year.
Deanna and I flew in our Bonanza. You flew in the Cessna, and we both got there. So it was a fun trip.
It was. Yeah, right. Unforgettable.
All right, so let's talk about your 182 flight up there. What was it like?
Well, the flight up there was pretty uneventful. I stopped in, my first fuel stop was Lebanon, Missouri, and then I hopped up into Iowa, fueled up there before making the famous Fisk Arrival.
Hold on, before you get there, what was the driving factor of your decision of where to go?
I looked at weather, number one. And then I looked at fuel prices, and both of those locations had really good fuel prices.
You know, when Deanna and I went, we basically went to where we thought we could get a nice hotel. That was a terrible decision. I have a policy of not throwing things under the bus here, but I'm going to throw Moline, Quad Cities, under the bus. They got a Class Charlie airspace there. We landed there, and we landed there at 5:30. And we thought everything would be just fine to be able to land there. It was raining, not hard, just a light rain. We got there. The FBO closed at 4 p.m. There was no fuel discount whatsoever. It took 20 minutes to get out the gate because you had to push a code and then talk to somebody while they validated who you were. We're sitting there in the rain trying to get out. The Uber was 30 minutes late. It was just like this disaster of experience here in Moline. And it just goes to show you it's an airport that cared nothing about catering to the Oshkosh crowd, the swarm of people that were coming there. And the flight home, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, was complete opposite. So to me, that's what you do. Look for a cheap price. Somebody that's putting on a good cheap price to get up there that actually wants you to be there. Then, of course, weather is the other good side of it. And to me, small little airports,
it was perfect.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, I think in Lebanon, the avgas was $4.85 a gallon.
There you go.
So, and that was about a little over 3 hours.
Yeah.
Into the flight. So it was a great fuel stop. And everybody there, of course, there was a line. There was a lot of people going to Oshkosh, so there was a little bit of a line to get in, for fuel.
Yeah,
but in and out, super easy.
Lots of people to talk to, and everybody doing the same thing. Everybody's
absolutely.
Helpful. Yeah. What was it like flying the Fisk Arrival? Because basically, You go IFR if you're a big jet or something like that, but they want you to go VFR if it's VFR weather conditions. It was for you when you came, and you got to fly the famous Fisk Arrival.
I did, and the route that I took, I ended up going into Iowa County, and I chose that for another reason too, because depending on how much traffic was on the Arrival, that put me just south of Endeavor. Yeah. But the Arrival was honestly a lot easier than what I thought. When you look at it, I know in years past, I would look on, ADSB Exchange or FlightScout, and you just see the swarm of aircraft, and it's a little intimidating. But I went on Friday, and so there was a lot less traffic, and that was intentional as well.
But still dealing with ATC, dealing with Arrival, it's kind of fun. I mean, those controllers are so good. They're funny.
Yep.
They keep it live. They're sort of having fun with the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Rock your wings. Where you from?
Yeah. Yeah. To hear those words, I've been waiting a long time to hear rock your wings. And that was great. But going back on the approach, I entered at Puckaway Lake.
Yeah.
And just I did have one airplane cut in front of me, but there was plenty of distance. I kept him, we were nose to tail a mile apart, and 1,800 feet, 90 knots.
When me and Deanna flew up there, I had and here's a little tip for you: have a printed copy of the NOTAM, not just like a digital thing, but a printed copy. Because they'll sometimes say, go to page 8 or page 10, and you can just go right there to that, and you basically listen to ATIS, listen to a frequency, go to an exact places and points, find the other airplane in front of you, get in a half-mile trail, and follow them in. And then when you rock your wings, they know it's you. They tell you which runway. It's usually one of 2 runways that you're going to land on, and it's just not hard.
It wasn't hard. Yeah, and I did. I printed it off. I had the digital copy and I had the printed copy. Always wanted to have that backup. So
yeah,
but yeah, did the whole approach, rock your wings, and then they gave me 3.6 right.
Is that the little runway?
That's the skinny runway.
Yeah. They basically turned a taxiway into
a runway. Yeah. So got to land on the skinny runway and on the square. The red square.
All right.
So.
And then you got taxi on the grass or did you park on the grass?
I did. I parked in the grass. Since I wasn't camping, and we'll get to that.
Well, let's talk about that real quick. You got a smoking deal out of this, and it goes down to Josh Flowers, doesn't it? And Josh has been came to Jacksonville one day. You got to meet him, and somehow y'all became fast friends.
We did. Yeah, Josh. He's an exceptional pilot and filmmaker. Yeah. So we definitely have some common interests. So yeah, I made a post about going to Oshkosh, and he ended up reaching out to me, and he's like, hey, I've got extra space at our Airbnb. Do you want to, come stay with us? And there was no hesitation whatsoever.
Yeah. Yes. So, I'll take that. Usually people have to graduate. Like you graduate from the tent to a travel trailer to a real building that you do to, whatever. You went right for the top of the line. I mean, you got a building, you got a room with Josh Flowers.
I did. Yeah. We had a house, and it was only about a mile, from the ground. So that was convenient. But not having to camp, I've heard, you've got to really experience Oshkosh, you need to camp. Well, I may disagree a little bit, but I was a little spoiled this time.
You were. One of the other parts that I thought was cool was Josh's dad was there.
Yes, Bob.
Bob, isn't he a cool guy?
Bob, I had the best time hanging out with Bob.
Yeah.
He shared a lot of stories over the years about Josh and his aviation adventures in his life, and some of the best people I've ever been around. It was a true joy to be around Josh, Chelsea, and Bob.
Okay, talk to me about when you landed there, got to see Oshkosh. Give me your first impression of Oshkosh, of just, you've heard of it, you've seen video of it. What's it like?
Right, yeah. You like I said, I've watched different videos, tons of YouTube videos, and you can't comprehend how massive this place really is. And they say you can't see it all in 1 week, and that's true. You can't. I tried. I didn't make it to the seaplane base. I didn't go to the museum. Several other things I didn't get to see. Yeah. So
Pioneer Field.
There's It was it was
to me
massive.
that's it. Is that what's cool about Oshkosh is not that it's a good show; it is the show. There's not a close second. I mean, much as I love Sun and Fun and some of the other regional fly-ins and things like that, those are great. Those are fun. But if it's got a set of wings on it, an example of it should be. That's why I've been wanting to fly the Porterfield there every year, is because I just feel like Oshkosh is not just the granddaddy of air shows. It is the aviation meeting place once a year, which brings me to my favorite part of the whole thing, which is just reconnecting with people. There are people that I see once a year because I see them at Oshkosh, and I'm thrilled to see them. It's just fun. Me and Travis Holland, I see him. I work with him a bunch, but I get to see him there.
Right.
All kind of other people. Dean and Tammy Jo Schultz were there. John Graham Mayo was there. Gobs of PA 46. People that I don't get to see in Texas a lot, but they listen to the podcast. They're from wherever, and they come there, and we get to see them again, or meet them for the first time. To me, it's about the connection with people.
Absolutely.
Hi, this is Mike Nichols with the Piper M-Class Owners and Pilots Association. I'm here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin at EAA AirVenture. One of the best parts about this week has been interacting with members of the PMOPA, talking about flying, best practices, and all things PA 46. If you're not a member of PMOPA, as a viewer of the Casey Aviation YouTube channel or a listener to the Malibu Guru Podcast, we'd love for you to join us. We'll offer you 20% off your first year membership. Please join using the code Malibu Guru. The offer is good till September 15th. We hope you'll sign up on the PMOPA website at pmopa.com. Hope you'll join us, and we'll see you at our convention in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, September 11th through 14th. Until then, enjoy all things PA 46.
So, okay. So one of the things that I told you at the very beginning was bring 2 pairs of shoes and trade them out every other day, because you're going to put a lot of steps in.
Yeah.
How far did you go? Did you monitor all this?
I
mean,
did,
you got a Garmin watch on.
I had my Garmin watch on, and actually after I got home, I looked, and it showed all of my steps. But I looked down at the miles, and it said that I walked 40 miles.
40 miles
in I think it was 5 days that I had walked those 40 miles.
So you're averaging 10 or 12 or 11 or 12 miles a day.
Yeah, it was.
And that's riding things around, like riding a vehicle over to like you could have gone more.
I could have gone more.
Yeah.
We were only a mile. Our house was only a mile from the airport, but in order for us, and we Ubered quite a bit. That logistically, that's one of the challenges when you fly in and you don't have a rental car, something like that. You're either walking or you're using Uber, and we shared the ride just to cut down on some of the expenses. But once you're on the grounds, you're definitely.
I will tell you this, Deanna and I, I've done 7 or 8 Oshkoshes. I've gotten good at it. And one of the things that we bought last year is e-bikes. And I'm telling you, just having a set of wheels. But I will tell you, the e-bikes are not super comfortable. Your butt hurts after a while, but it sure beats the walk. I'm no doubt about it. But to me, it's the one wheel. I'm next year. I'm one wheeling it.
I saw a lot of one wheels.
I saw a lot of one wheels. That's right. And I was every time I saw one wheel while I'm on the bike, the one wheel is just so much smaller and easy to throw in the back of the airplane. Get good at a one wheel. Take it to Oshkosh. Lock it up. Chain it up to a fence somewhere. And it's just a beautiful. To me, one of the little trade secrets is learn to ride a one wheel and get good at it. And if you don't, get an e-bike.
Yeah.
Or a scooter. The scooters look pretty good too.
Yeah, I would probably choose the scooter.
The scooter might be good. Yeah, if you're not comfortable, I'm not saying there's some people that are not comfortable in a one wheel. I've ridden them a lot. I'm very comfortable. I think a lot of people take a one wheel and see how fast they can go, and that's a disaster. But a one wheel worked good, a scooter worked good, an e-bike worked good. Whatever you can put in your airplane. But I put the 2 e-bikes in the back of the Bonanza. And it took up a gob of space, and I had to take the seats out. It wasn't easy loading them up or getting them out of there. One wheels would have been just toss them in the back and we're ready to go. Scooters would have been too.
Yeah.
So to me, scooter or one wheel, that's what we're taking next year. And we're going to get around just fine. Okay, what was it like to go to, I think they call it Boeing Plaza, right in the center?
Yeah.
I mean they had a 747.
Yeah, they had Pratt & Whitney had their 747 there. And I didn't go inside. The lines were really long to go in any of those aircraft. I didn't do that. There was just so much to see, but just just being able to see Boeing Plaza and all of the various aircraft, a lot of military aircraft in there as well. And they rotate those, they rotate the aircraft around throughout the week, putting different ones in there.
Yeah.
Constellation. They had
they had the U2. U2 spy plane. I was going to say, to me the highlight was a U2. I didn't get to see it fly, but I got to get up close.
Yeah. I saw it as it was flying by. I didn't see the actual landing, but I did go up and get up close to it and check it out.
Let's talk about the vendors that were there. Piper. Piper had the Fury. Piper had one of the cool things was the retro paint job on the M350. Oh my gosh, it looked.
I love it.
This new retro thing is on airplanes. It looks fantastic. It's definitely the up and coming deal, and
I love retro paint schemes.
I love retro paint. Yeah, I've got one on the Bonanza. I'm going to put one on our Cessna 1A2 here pretty soon. But the retro paint schemes are just looking so cool. And they got a retro on the M350. It looked great. They had a Fury there. It got a lot of attention.
It did.
I mean, that Fury was all over. Was neat. Another cool part that I thought was Piper gave PMOPA basically in a 1 hour block each day from 3 to 4, where all Piper members could come over there, meet, get snacks and drinks and stuff like this, and just gave us a place to get away and get together. So kudos to Piper for letting PMOPA be a part of that. It's a slam dunk of an idea, meaning that you're inviting your customers to come into the place,
yes.
And they might, an M350 buyer or Mirage buyer might walk by a Fury and go buy one. So it's a target audience. So it's definitely Piper should have done that, but they did, and it was cool.
It was,
yeah. And I would say Piper had a lot of people there. Ron Gunnarsson was there. I will say they had a lot of people in very well dressed in the different shirts. I think a lot of them were underling people, meaning that they didn't know just a whole lot. Mm-hmm. But if you wanted anything from the Piper people, there was a lot of Piper there, and very good. I will say though, the people, the companies that I thought had the biggest presence, without a doubt, in my opinion. There's two that were there. Garmin was one of them. They had a line every time and anything to do with Garmin was just, they did it so well. It was totally crowded. The booth was just jam-packed, appropriately so, because Garmin's kicking ass right now. I mean, they're just doing great, providing great products to the market. The other one, it was Daher that makes the TBM, and they make the Kodiak. Daher spent some money.
They did.
Oh, my God. Their booth was unbelievable. They sponsored every single air show. Every air show on every afternoon was sponsored by them with their name everywhere. At the gathering on Thursday nights, like this big dinner where you wear coat and tie and long dresses and all that kind of good stuff, the entire balcony was Daher. I don't know. God, they spent a mountain of money. Daher came all out. Daher went all out. Way more than Piper. Now, and I'm not saying they did wrong, because Daher spent a gob of money and Piper probably spent a normal amount of money. But gosh, Daher was just everywhere. They looked really good they just had a big presence there. Garmin had a big presence there. Boeing had a big presence there.
Yeah. Going back to Garmin, going to their booth and seeing everything that they had on display, like everything interactive.
You know, it was kind of fun.
Unbelievable.
We own a boat. We in Chattanooga. Most people know that. We went there. They had all their boat display. We were over there learning about what we can install Garmin on our boat. And it's amazing. They do, for what they do in airplanes, they do in boats. And the Garmin's getting big. I'm just telling you right now.
There's a reason they're the leader.
Yeah, so. there's a reason they're. The other one was that I thought did a real good job was Flying Eyes. And I'll tell you this: I've owned Flying Eyes sunglasses in the past, and I've had one minor problem that they don't seem to stay on my head good. They'll like slide forward. I don't know what they did. I don't know all the little nuances, but I've got 2 new sets of Flying Eyes because I went and tried them on again. And man, I'm really loving my Flying Eyes.
Their glasses are amazing. I have 2 pairs as well.
Yeah.
And I love them. They are very light.
They're very super light. Yeah. The headset, they go under the headset. They're super thin. They're designed for pilots, all that good. But their booth looked great. The other one was Dan Milliken was there.
Dan was.
Within the hangar. I got to do I don't know,
episode
or recording or something with Dan about the medical situation, which was cool. It was good to team back up with Dan and sort of be with him. So that was kind of fun. Talk to me about air shows. Did you have fun with that?
The first 2 days I was just so busy going around the grounds, and you could see the air show in the distance, and obviously you could hear it as well. It was all the military jets were very loud. But the night air show
was great.
The night air show was really, really great. I enjoyed that. We had a great spot as well.
Yeah, we had a great spot because NBAA, Mike Nichols. So let's talk about Mike Nichols. Mike did a really good job of coordinating a lot of nice little things for PMOPA members.
He did.
Like if you didn't sign up for the stuff that Mike Nichols basically arranged, then you missed out.
Right.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. And we signed up. We were part of the PMOPA daily thing. One of the deals that they had was on the Wednesday night air show. Mike got the NBAA booth, which has a big open area with a great visibility of the whole thing. And that was the night air show was really, one of the reasons that I like it. I love the flashbang. I love the coordinated music. I love all the stuff that they do with the fireworks. I think it's all great. They did a great tribute to Rob Holland.
They did.
Yes. Rob is one of those pilots that I just appreciate, a fine pilot. Of course, he passed away this year. We already did a podcast about his passing, and but at Oshkosh they did. I thought as good. It's hard to do something like that for a singular person at such a big event. I hope his family was there to be able to see it. I will tell you, an entire community of aviators missed him. I will tell you, though, there were some other performers out there that were ripping up the sky. I'm telling you.
I have to say probably Matt Youngkin is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
His performance is always really, really good. And
there's a host of them. There's a guy that has a yellow airplane out there now that was doing stuff that I just never have seen anybody do.
Yeah.
I always loved the F-22 and the F-16s and all the big stuff that goes flash and all, bang and fast and all that kind of stuff. But the guys that can really just tear it up in the sky, I appreciate them for sure.
Yeah.
And the other one is the T-6 Texans. They make a bagaba noise, but there's 3 of them, and they're real tight formations, and just to see I love good flying.
Oh yeah,
I just love good flying. Yeah. So that was
such precision. I mean, it's absolutely amazing what they can do.
All right, if you had to come up with a most memorable moment or a thing that just jumped, of all that's there, just the first thing that comes to your mind, what's the best thing, the most memorable moment you had at Oshkosh?
The people.
Yeah.
It's the people.
It's all
the airplanes, the exhibits, everything's great, but it's the people.
Right.
And that's the reason I will go back to Oshkosh next year, no doubt.
Right. I will tell you, for me, it was Enstrom helicopters. We have developed a relationship. More will follow with this. I got to go from Oshkosh to Menominee, Michigan, where the Enstrom factory is, tour it again. I toured it not only with me, but there was about 10 other people that were very high up in the world of like the president of Gamma was there. People that have different types of engine power, engines were there. People that are very high up. VAI sent a cohort. Some really cool people, and on the trip up there and the trip back, I'm going to talk more about this in another podcast. We're going to devote a whole podcast to Enstrom because we're really developing a relationship with them. But Enstrom's got 2 cool helicopters now, and I think you're going to see a resurrection. I love helicopters, and for me to interact with Enstrom was just kind of fun. It was, that was probably, if I had to do a most memorable moment, that's probably what I would say. Here's the question. You going back next year?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Are you bringing your family?
There's a possibility that I bring my family.
We stayed 7 days. 7 days is not too long, but 7 days is work.
Yeah.
You are tired each day. You better plan 8 hours of sleep. You better get some good sleep because there's just a lot going down and a lot moving. And
I think I averaged about 5 hours every night.
Yeah, you can.
And it would be daylight at 5:15 in the morning.
That's right.
So
that's right. The other one that we, the Walker family was there, and Ryan and Ted Walker, and they have a huge extended family. The Walker Mowers is where they own that company, and the Walker Mower people they're huge aviators, and it was so much fun to be a part of. And when I say Walker, there were other people involved, and they'll know who they are that were there related to the Walkers. But the Walkers are such gatherers when it comes to aviation, and there was just a bunch of people there related to the Walkers, and they brought their family and their kids, and this was all. And they cooked us a breakfast one morning, and that was really cool. So anyway, it was going back to the most memorable was certainly just the people there. You'd like to say it was about learning the new in aviation and seeing the machines, but it's really not. At the end of the day, it's connecting with people that you instantly have a like for. In other words, they all speak the language of aviation.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, it's just fun to see people like that.
I have to go back next year because there were so many things that I missed this year, things that I wanted to do, but again, in a week, I just couldn't see it all.
Yeah. Oshkosh is cool. Oshkosh is great. It's hard to have a bad, I will say, I don't think anybody died this year. I don't think there was a massive crash or a horrendous whatever, that happened, and that's good.
There was a couple of mishaps, but nothing major.
Nothing major. Like there's been some years in the past where there have been some mid-airs and some things gone wrong. But kudos to the EAA staff and leadership to have that many people, that many airplanes, that much activity going on, and to have a organized chaos, if that's the right way to say it, and still have it be fun where you can get there and interact. It was interesting. There was a day, and this is going to be a little bit on the arrogant side in terms of this, but there was a morning that I had a breakfast with a billionaire that was just as interesting as it could possibly be. And we talked about airplanes the entire time.
Yeah.
I had lunch with a billionaire that just, again, same thing. We talked about flying and airplanes and and it wasn't the big, things. I spent some time with some astronauts that I happened across that afternoon, and we talked about everything that you could think of. I met the wife of the pilot that Ingalls, his last name. I met his wife, and she gave some memorabilia that was auctioned off. I got to meet her and talk about X-15s and flying.
Oh, wow.
This is in one day that I got to meet, and I'm not even talking about the VP of Piper, Ron Gunnarsson, seeing him, and CEOs of various companies. This is in one day that I got to have all these conversations with all these people, and it's just cool. You can't do that
anywhere else.
There's no other place to do it.
Right.
It's going to be at Oshkosh. Yeah. If it's aviation, that's where it's going to be.
That's it.
Yeah. So we're going next year. We've already put down our deposit on the room. So, that's the way it goes. If you want to go, you got a plan. So,
that's right.
And I'm sure you left Josh Flowers with a little, all right, see you next year.
I did. Yeah. We'll work out the details of that. And but I'm definitely going one way or the other.
Yeah. Well, to me, Oshkosh is one of the cool places to go in the world. This year didn't have new as far as all the new products and different things of this nature, but it had the people there. And that's what we think is cool. All centered around aviation with a bunch of people that speak the language of aviation, that love aviation, that love it, whether it's a rotorcraft or a gyrocopter or a jet or just anything. It's flying, and therefore it's cool. Oshkosh 2025. We're going to do it again in 2026. Joe Casey and
Clint Goff
signing out.